Hello, hello everyone. I'm huge on the screen. Make that smaller. Hopefully you can hear me out. You boost your signal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Me so pale. I look so pale. How it is. Let me smash that tweet button here. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Okay, today's adventure is drawing a bunny girl because it's bunny girl day and I don't have any new bunny girl art. I could just repost the other one, but what if I don't want to? Also, I was thinking I've never drawn one of yeah, so I'm gonna give that a shot. But I'm gonna be extremely turn this fan off. It'll be on in like a second. I'm gonna be extremely biased and I'm gonna make it look like a certain television. I'm going crazy. The worms are eating at my brain, dude. Where's my pen? Here's new drawing. Let's see if I can do something new. I'm gonna look at references as well for the pose. Usually when I look at a pose reference, it's like so it like never turns out what it looks like ever. That's like a good thing, right? Because you don't want to just like one for one what you're referencing. Although if that's your objective, then that's different. But usually you want to give it some spice. Let's see. So I don't have any like updated references for me. Oh, this pose is cute. Looks nothing like what I'm gonna do, but let me open a picture. A pen. I went to a Daiso today. What's today? And they had like it was like a bigger one. So like the meow meow meow. They had like a nice like pen section. Cause you know when you go like to a Michael's or something, they have like a whole like thing of pens and stuff. Well, this Daiso had a whole thing of pens this time, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, "Whoa, there's so many!" Bunny Day merch. I was like, "No way, more merch." If I did release merch, it wouldn't be back to back. It would have been all in one. For MEOW. I always forget where I left her. But they had had a bunch of pens at the Daiso. And they had a little tester paper. And so I wanted to I tested out one of they had like erasable, what's it called? Highlighter and pen. I hadn't actually seen like a how it's made type thing of like how those things work, but I forgot how they work. I feel like it has something to do with like the ink type. So ohio. Yeah. But I drew a little tenna. You guys are not gonna fucking hear the end of me speaking about that goddamn old man TV. My brain. But I drew a little haichu tenna. There's like this Japanese artist that made a haichu tenna. It looks like this. I drew it on a little tester paper because it was like, oh, let me do that. Then I erased part of it because it was an erasable pen and I wanted to try it. Like this. I don't remember. I feel like it doesn't have back legs. I'm just giving it back legs. It's cute. A bunny tenna, that'd be cute. He would have like 4 ears. It kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of like some sort of like extra like cyber thing. But what comes in my head is the Love Live cyber set, Love Live MEOW cyber set. But I haven't seen it in a long time, so maybe I'm just like false memory. It looks like this, and I drew that on the little paper because it was cute, and I erased it. It kind of was like not that good of a eraser, But I think any sort of like erasable uh pen isn't like that good. I feel like it's always like just enough to make you impressed, but never like enough to make it like worth buying necessarily. I also haven't drawn all day. I was rigging. So this is not drawing. It's like a different muscle. Let's see. Let's do this pose. I was looking back at some like pictures, as one does. Because it was like Google Photos, they'll be like, do you remember? Do you remember? Look, do you remember? And they'll send you like a slideshow of pictures. And in it had like some old figure drawings that I did, including like it was supposed to be, I guess, technically life size, but like it wasn't actually literally life size. But it was like a large drawing, like a self-portrait. And I was looking at it and I was like, bro, if I did that today, it would look so much better. I don't think the anatomy of like the body was off. I think that was the most accurate thing. The thing that was inaccurate was the face. Because when you draw really big, it looks it's so easy to get lost in the sauce. And I think that's what happened. But I passed, so whatever. All that matters is I get that grade. But the other figure drawings that were from that time period, I think it was 2020. They were also very like not the best. Like not they didn't really capture much, I felt. But I took another figure drawing class like 3 years later and it was better, as it should be. I would hope it is. Full-size portrait painters, yeah, it's like it's so rough. I think like muralists, people who do murals are also like, that's a whole different breed of artists. To be able to do large scale things, it's so easy to get lost. It's not like it's not at all the perspective. Because then essentially what they're doing is like what they tend to do is like a large grid method, and like I don't like doing the grid method. I feel like I get extra lost. But if you're gonna be painting on like large surfaces, then you're gonna need a guide. It must be rough, yeah. I feel like if they're gonna try it, they probably tend to enjoy it. Or if they at least like that's what they do. You probably do other art. The mentals and hit me with a color theory. Color theory is so rough. I would probably do color theory for last. Not last, but like later. Because you can always just get by not doing color. I think I would just learn values, like black to white. I would just learn that, and then that would be it for like a while until you're ready. This is a bunny suit, but I'm not like actually. There's no bunny or suit. The fuck? Coat. So I think this is too elongated. Color theory for me is literally just a couple colors and that's it. If I go crazy, it starts looking whack. Doing monochrome or grayscale is a good way to get better at color overall. Yeah, you wouldn't think it like at first, but that's like definitely like the way to learn proper. This is like off, like chest. This is what happens. Is like I'll draw a body and then it ends up getting way bigger than the head, or vice versa. Not gonna look perfect. Fine. It's like hills. Mountains out of a molehill. And I've been wanting to get to painting. Actually, I have to paint because I have a painting due in like a month. But I haven't cleaned my room. Also, it's been like stupid hot, so I've had the window closed, and I can't really be painting with oil in a closed room because then it smells and I'll go crazy. It makes sense. Mountains, large hills. I think I like this pose. I mean, I like it, but it's not what I'm doing. Just gonna start making shit up. Will it cool down soon? Yeah. The weather was so bad in terms of like heat and dryness that a fire started near my location. It's like that bad. Usually fire season's later, but it's been moving sooner and sooner every year. It's too hot. I wake up sweaty and I hate it. It's the worst. It's a good pose for what I want to show. Hello. Hi. Hello. I can make this one work. It'd be kind of cute. Let's see. I feel like the way I'm like zoom in hella hard. What helps me a lot is to draw super small because then I can like smush details and not worry about it. It's not like convenient for everything. But it's very much like lets me focus on form a bit more. The lately I have, yeah, same here. Like even on days where I don't go out in the morning, I'll still take a shower because it's so bad. And it won't get worse. Small. Her hair can stay the same. I feel like I'm not gonna go super crazy on her hairstyle. There it is. I always have trouble with this hair piece. I thought about streaming 3D and the 3D model with like a bunny suit on, but then I was like, I don't want to set it up. You know, one. Oh yes, this is completely unrelated. What's the best sound you've ever had? There was like this is like one like sandwich place that had gotten a sandwich from. Hey there, hi, wow. I'd gotten a sandwich from, and it was expensive, but it was good. But I don't remember it being like so good. Like I can't taste it. You know what I mean? Like in my memory, I can't taste it. So I don't know if it was that good. Oh wow. What comes to mind when I think of a sandwich that I thought was really good is like how many tricks do I wear? I don't use hardware for tracking. I use an iPhone and then an application called XR Animator, which does like webcam tracking. It's pretty good. It's a little janky here and there if there's like if it can't see you entirely and like I don't have a good position to put it. I think it'd be cool if it would let you use multiple phones to like track it because I have a bunch of old Android phones that maybe would use, but alas. But it works really well for full body, just like basic stuff. And then if I'm feeling fancy, I'll use the iPhone for face tracking, and then I'll use an old Android phone for the 3D webcam or whatever. It's fun. It's really accessible if you have an old phone lying around. The Sloppy Jessica. Chili mac and cheese pizza on bun. You just don't use VTube to VTS? I do for VTube Studio, but for when I do 3D stuff, I do iFacial mocap for 3D. I know you can use iFacial mocap for VTube Studio, but I've never tried it, and I think it's easier to use VTube Studio for VTube Studio anyway. Everything is in its own kingdom. Setting up a small grid of phones, so much older VR trackers. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but like the program doesn't have that. And I think there really isn't any like sort of like free program that does it like that. That would be very nice. Brooklyn 99, which just says sandwich starred in. Oh, I've heard of that show. I feel like the best sandwich I've had is like a random one I had on the beach many years ago. But in my head, the one that I can taste is a flat ham and mayo sandwich with white bread that's a little squished. And I had it for lunch in high school. And that's the one that comes into my head. And it was good. I must have been hella hungry or something because I remember it. I like a little squished sandwich is pretty good. Kind of like a squished donut is pretty good. Turn the fan back on. I'm like melting for real. Good meatball sub. I think I've had a meatball sub once. I love a good meatball. Meatball. I've not had a chicken parmesan sub though. Thin sliced turkey makes a nice sandwich. Kind of always squish mine. Yeah, I feel like the squish really enhances it. I don't know what it is about it. Lego Dreams, I have not. Cheesesteak. I don't know if I've had a cheesesteak. I feel like maybe I might have, but the fact that I can't even think of it, it might not have been real. I've like dreamt it up. A club sandwich, you need to sleep and don't have bread. You just like dream about it. Beautiful sandwich. The ideal sandwich. He closed mouth. Feels the flavor inside better when you squish it. That's actually... Oh no, it's not even on. Hold on. Shall make you speak. Like the one thing I forgot to open. Where is it? Connecting. Boo 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 boo. Say it. I wouldn't say it. I won't say it. So my model, thank you. Hold on. Where is it? Do I have it muted? I'm muted. Bro.com. Why isn't it working? Hold on. I will get you that TTS. To wait. A taco place where you can actually drink a taco, and the place is called Chico's Tacos. What does drink a taco mean? Like you they pulverize it? Let me open it and close it again. But I feel like it would be too chunky to really eat or to drink. So then what? They like add not milk, but something to it. Okay. It doesn't work. Let me refresh it. Go. Behind the scenes studio. Is it? Blender the taco? Yeah. How else would you drink it? I guess you could just have like a flavor packet that like is flavored accordingly. Here we go. Working. The fart? The fart? Wait, I think it's because it's like a separate thing. Audio. Allow. Bro, please. Settings. It doesn't want to work. What the flip? It doesn't work out. It doesn't refund the points. So much juice and grease you can drink it. Ew. You can like drink the grease.
Bruh.
Bruh, indeed. Audio. Alright, I'm just gonna refund it. I don't know why it doesn't work. Back here. Oops. Bitch, where are you? Channel points. That's what Gabriel Iglesias said. You can just drink it, so much grease. Let's see. Blue the Wolf 44, welcome, welcome! Welcome, welcome! Go here. And here. And I'm just gonna refund every single one ever. It's so much easier to just find it like that. Everyone gets their points back. Everyone gets their points back. There you go. It's my little itty bitty reference. Greasy tacos are a pet peeve. If the grease is dripping out, they need to drain the meat better. I kind of agree. Like, not everybody wants to be like slip inside on the grease. I also feel like once you get like too much of it, it's not really like adding anything to the flavor. It's just doing texture stuff. New One Piece Lego sets? No way. They're not done. They were doing that. I did see that Deltarune was like as an option for like the suggested like official IP things, which I thought was interesting. I don't think they would ever do it though. Cat meow. Meow. Gravity who? Drawing like a back is kind of difficult because it looks big, but it does look big anyway. The best Lego set they made was the Going Merry ship. What is the Going Merry ship? Goo. Going Merry Lego. Lego my Eggo. I love waffles. One Piece Lego makes sense. They already do a million pirate sets. I'm sure it reuses pieces, huh? The Going Merry pirate ship. Oh, it's the One Piece one. It's the One Piece. It's real. Looks cool. And they have little pieces based off the movie One Piece, guys. Not the movie, the series. Was it a series or the series? Waffles just period of pancakes. I kind of like pancakes more, but I like both. This already isn't even the pose I'm like referencing. I'm not pushing it. I want certain features to be shown, but I don't even want that much. Let's see. This and then this. Now you want some? I feel like I haven't had waffles in a hot minute either. You know, I went to a Costco recently and they had a chicken and waffle set at the Costco. Like you could just buy it and it was like a few things of chicken and some waffles. I'm like, what the fuck? Like $7 a pound or something. It was like 2 to 3 pounds. One Piece is the friends we made along the way. Always. Interesting, yeah. I have a sleep based off of that. And this is more loosey-goosey with it. Wow. Oh. Drawing's hard, man. What the fuck? Sometimes drawing is like, this shit easy, and then it's not. Totes not. Recently stopped accepting cash. Is Costco still something about it? I don't know. I don't know. My brother and I went recently, and then but he had gone before me another time, and I asked him like, do they take cash still? And he was like why wouldn't they? And I was like, well, because a lot of places aren't taking cash these days. And he didn't know because he had tried to use $100 bill, and they were like, nope. So he ended up having to pay with card. So we never found out if they still take cash. Any of that. My dad and stepmom recently bought me a big bag of macaroni noodles for cooking. Yummy. You have never tried, I've never had noodles before. I'm just lying. I've never had noodles before. I'm lying. What I haven't had is like the macaroni type where it's like cooked, and then after it's cooked, they like bake it again with like extra shit over it. I've never had that before. It sounds like it would be hella good. You choose Wolfie Chew plushie. Aww, Wolfie Chew's so cute. Very nice. A lot of places refuse stuff like hundreds because of counterfeits. Yeah, same here. He didn't know that because he's been out of the country for a million years, my brother. But I know that. Buy a hot dog at Sam's and they didn't even have cash registers. You use QR code. Give them your bank account. Your bank account. Like, give me your routing number to buy a hot dog. That's crazy. You're gonna wire them for the fucking hot dog. I know at Costco they have like you can order at the till, like when you pay, and they'll do that. But one of the recent times I went, the Brody at the till was like, "Oh, you can just order at the deli." Yeah, I know that, but I'm here paying for groceries, and I know you can take my fucking order and put it on the receipt. I just think he just didn't want to that day. But I know you can just do it at the fucking till. I don't know what that was about. A 178 hot dog. I don't know about the Sam's Club one because I haven't been to a Sam's Club in probably like a couple years at this point. Many years equals 2 years. But I haven't been to one. I'm not really a hot dog guy anyway, but I don't really like the Costco hot dogs. Or maybe it's just because like it's like a recent one. I feel like they've kind of changed the flavor, sort of, like some of their stuff. Big old booty bunny girls. Hello. This is looking strange. So we'll see if there's any booties or nothing. Or something. Not nothing. Is it ramen that actually have real ramen? I like having instant ramen, but like dressing it up like really nice and pretty. Like having it have like some meat and some cheese and some hot sauce. You know? It's really good. I'm not much for putting eggs in it, so I don't do eggs, but people like that. Cheese, yeah. I'll put cheese on it. Like Korean noodle style. But it's instant ramen. Ew, what the fuck? Do you not like cheese? Cheese is so fucking good, bro. I haven't lived if you had good old cheesy noodles. It's so good. This wire is gonna end up like pressing buttons I don't want this year. Sorta. You know what was really fucking life-changing for me is that when I went to a Korean barbecue place for the first time with some friends a year or so. Bunny Girl Senpai, no. It's my girl here in a bunny suit. Cheese how you attract the woman? I guess, but I feel like a lot of people are so anti-dairy these days. They don't fuck with cheese like they used to. Anyway, I went to a Korean barbecue place with the homies for the first time like a couple years ago. And my friend ordered fucking corn with cheese. And I was like, wait, this shit is so fucking good. How did I never think about having some corn with cheese. And I fucking love corn. Corn is so good, bro. I don't know. My life was changed that day, truly. This is like a coat. It's like a thing like that. It's so good. You're not fucking with ramen and cheese? Are you thinking of like ramen with like the soup in it? I feel like the soup makes a difference. Like I feel like a lot of noodles, non-wet noodles, non-soaked noodles would go well with cheese. I think once you add like the soup, it might be a little odd. But I've had it with the soup and it's good. Cheese is good. I agree on the egg. I don't like Asian style eggs anyway. I guess I'm just not. I feel like when I have eggs, I always just think egg equals scrambled from a pan, and that's that. Like I don't like really eat it any other style, so I'm not particularly like used to it elsewhere. If you don't have the soup, then what's the point of the ramen? You're just eating pasta. No, you're eating noodles. I guess okay, pasta versus noodles. I'm thinking like Korean style noodles, not Italian style. It's flour, it's dough, but it's not the same guy. I do this. Petticoat or tailcoat, actually. Pokemon Worlds lately, I have not watched it. My friend and I were looking at the pricing for the next year's Worlds, and now they have the Pokemon XP, basically like convention happening at the same time. And we were wondering, well, like if it's worth going. It's a little expensive per person. Like, I don't know. The broth really seals the cheese to me. It's super good. I kind of agree. It keeps the cheese melted too. Noodles with Alfredo. I love Alfredo noodles. I love it. Yummy. Sashimi is yellow grain, noodle is white grain, or like starch noodles. I've never thought about it. Like that. And one. There's pointy hand. Pointy thingies. This. Belt. A lot of rice noodles rather than plain rice. I feel like I don't really eat noodles enough. Like, think about what they're made from. Udon with soy sauce broth and a couple of pieces of beef is what I get at a ramen place. Yummy. I usually get I'll get like the meatiest ramen that they have. Preferred beef, but I'll do pork too. But I like beef better. I tend to go for the meat. Since I'm back here. And they like find out the anatomy looks whack as fuck right when I'm lining it. Chicken jockey. Chicken ramen, but beef is good too. And chicken ramen's good. I just like meat. I do like having like a shit ton of vegetables with it, but the meat has to be there to complement it. This like sleeve puff is actually fucking me up. I used to like Alfredo, but I had so much of it as a kid that you bring stuff out on it forever. I kind of feel like similar to that. But then at the same time, like if I had a last meal, like I would default to Alfredo. To chicken Alfredo. This feels like a safe choice. It's pretty good usually. Today, I have a picture on Twitter. Let me look it up. Wrong. Here it is. Your Sin plushie from killing your Wolfie Chew plushie. Just put them on opposite ends of the room. Like a... Excuse me. That reminds me. I was like with like a manila folder in between them. Do you guys ever have to do like testing on paper growing up? I know they don't really do it on paper anymore, but testing on paper, and they had like because like all the desks were next to each other, they had to put like a little manila folder in between everyone, and they're like, okay, pass out the folders. They weren't always like the plain ones, but sometimes they were like colorful. That was like a memory I just had. Looks good so far, thank you. Glad I went small with it. Today I went to a boba place called Sunrise. It was Sunrise? It's called Sunrise? I always thought it was called Sunrise. Guess I'm clearly not paying attention. But it was quite the drive, quite the journey to get there. It's like super fucking far. We went because my friend likes Love and Deep Space, which is like an ultimate game for the phone. And it was quite the experience. It was a cup sleeve thing. But binders for your desk. So you can do a period tracker. It does track your period, which is interesting, I guess. The husband of Boba, yeah. Boba was pretty good. Okay, so this guy is named Caleb. I don't know anything about this, by the way. I've never played it. I have no interest in playing it because the plot's not my thing, and I'm not really looking. I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for love. So I'm okay. But the drink I got was another guy's drink. And then, I ordered 2 drinks, one that was a collab drink and then one that wasn't. And then the guy was like, wait, what guy did you get? And I was like, Raphael. And then they gave me Caleb. And I was like, honestly, I don't care. So I just left without being like, actually I wanted Raphael, because I don't really care. I couldn't tell you the difference. Other than I think this guy is a childhood friend. Allegedly. This is from a second source. You know, I might be looking for it, but these guys will give it to you. Ew, cooties. Ew, cooties. But yeah, I went there and it was pretty nice. What was interesting is that we got there and we drove enough to get there like an hour before they opened. And we ended up like with some time to kill, to a nearby store. But then we went back to the car. Crack someone's neck, but I don't know if you guys even heard that. We went back to the car and we were waiting, and we like a bunch of like 3 or 4 cars pull up, and we're like, oh yeah, they're waiting to go to the store for the collab. And we were like, okay, well, we'll just wait for the doors to open. Like, it wasn't that serious. We weren't gonna like go in like, and line up or nothing, because it was like, you know, there's plenty like ladies. There's plenty to go around. So we just waited. But then like maybe like 10 minutes before they were opening, people started lining up, and it was like a little gaggle of girls. And we're like, oh shit, like should we go and line up? It was like a weird like FOMO thing. It was like we didn't have to. But we still like, okay, let's get out and line up. And then we did, and then other people went in and like lined up. It was like a small crowd, maybe like 10 people total, including like actually maybe like 12, including like my group, which was like 4 of us. And there was one lady chatting it up in the line. She was like, oh, have you gone to the other, because I think there's some stores that have like actual decor in them. I don't know where they are, but apparently they're around. And so it's like, oh, have you gone to the ones with the displays? Like, oh no, whatever. I think today's the last day, or the second to last day that you can get them. So we're all like last minute. Maybe nonchalant, but the FOMO hits. Literally, we were kind of like, what if another 2 cars pull up and all of a sudden we can't even fucking order? So we went in. You know, the lady was chatting it up. We were parked next to her car, but she wasn't driving. She had like her dad drive her I assume it's her dad, but it was like an older gentleman. Uh, and he was just in the thing, and we were like, bro, like we had to compete with this old man. And I was like, is he alone in the car? And it's like, no, he has like someone in there. Like, oh, okay. But we go in the line, and then she's in front of us, and she ends up just briefly like chatting with my friend who actually plays the game, and she was like, "Oh, who's your favorite?" And he said, "What the fuck's his favorite?" Oh, Silas, the white-haired one who kind of creeps me out the most. But I digress. Oh, Silas. And she's like, "Oh, I don't remember what she said, but she said her favorite." And it was her turn to order. It was like a really small place, but it was like packed. We noticed that she ordered 5, because there's 5 dudes. She ordered 5 drinks, and we were like, does she know? Does she know? It's limit one merch set per customer. And we were like, oh shit, does she know? Man hater. Wait, hold on. I got those like put for bullying. Oh, I see why the thing wouldn't work. It was because it's using a different TTS. Oh, no, it wasn't. The freak? Never mind. I'm not. It is bullying, but you said it. So chat was like, the moderator was like, actually you're bullying. You said it, not me. Anyway, shortified drinks, and then the guy at the till was hella serious about it. You love men? I like men too, just a little bit less. I have a preference, as most people do. It is worth a boba like a gotcha grind. Literally, she was like back to back, back to back. But then the guy at the till was hella serious, was like, oh, it's 1 per customer. And then she ended up getting her old man out of the car. Her old man, her dad, I assume. Out of the car to like pick up get another set, like 2 of them. But she wasn't able to get 5. Because, you know, that wasn't allowed. Because apparently they're only able to... They have like a certain amount of product per day. And that's how they were able to basically like keep it available for the entire event period. Because otherwise people would come in and just like order 1 million drinks. And like get 1 million little cup sleeves. And little stickers and coasters. Proportionate at all? I don't know. 1 per customer after you spend the money for 5 drinks. Yeah, we were like, damn, she like spent hella money just to get a little bit of merch. The drinks weren't very expensive, thank goodness. I was like ready for them to be as expensive as like I think that's a different place, but there was the Genshin Impact one. I don't know if that was that. Well, my voice is cracked. I don't know if it was the same. If it was the same one though, like the same place, but they had the Genshin collaboration, and that was more expensive because they gave you like physical, like a cup. They gave you a cup and a little like fur, Dodoko sleeve, which is really expensive, and I had to buy it for 2 people, but it was worth it because it was so cute. But we were like, you would think the super fan, because she was so chatty and she was like so about it. She would know about the limit per customer. She didn't. She was so enthralled. You live in Wisconsin, there's a cute little boba pizza shop close to your house. That sounds so good. A boba and pizza shop. Or good. Chuck. You know, I had to look up, I like looked up, is Chuck Norris still alive? Recently. I was like, is Chuck Norris still alive? He's not that old, I think. I remember what Google told me. I was like, is he still alive? Because Chuck Norris is such an old figure. As a father, how should one act if their daughter falls in love with the phone app man? I don't know. Be supportive. Maybe she'll find her real anime man IRL. Like that one lady who liked Speed Racer growing up. And then the guy that she married was like basically Speed Racer in her head. She was like, I married my anime man. IRL. Starbucks summer berry drink. I've not tried it. I don't really care for Starbucks. I don't got money like that to be blowing on Starbucks of all things. There's better drinks. He's Speed Racer and he races small track cars. Speed Racer, so nostalgic. I don't know what like fancy like leg pattern I could do here. It's nothing. Nothing. Let's do this other hand. I was gonna like exit this out. Ooh, ah! What fingers? Speed Racer. I've not heard the theme in a long time. Yes, thumbs inwards always. Dropping 2K for report. I didn't drop 2K. It was 300. It was 300 bucks. I wouldn't have dropped 2K. I would have just like died. You know? I would have been on my deathbed like never got that Vaporeon. But if I die old, I probably would have just like commissioned or made my own at that point. Probably made my own because it's not impossible. I can do literally anything I want in this world. For the card? What card? I didn't buy the card. I have not spent $500 on the shiny Vaporeon. I have not done that. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to. I'll have to find one that's really beat up and like torn to pieces. I'll buy that. As long as it's not over $100. I'll give you 20. I'll lowball you hella hard. If it's in literal pieces, I'll buy it. In your head, I watched the marathon as a kid. You're sick of the local cable channel. I feel like that's like the time to memorize random shit when you're a kid. He's over that cliff. Yeah, that's what I think of too. It wouldn't really air super often in my television. Maybe this angle or like this. I should save this before it crashes or something. $20, take it. Yeah, I'd be like, here, $20. Take it. They can negotiate. Zero negotiation done. Scooby-Doo. I used to watch Scooby-Doo too. The Doobert. Let's put this in the regular drawing folder. No. E. You take the card and the 20, so it's free. Should I just line this when it's like super small? Probably not. Well, I can. A little bit big. Actually, no, yeah, let me line it when it's super small and see what happens. And like, I regret it. The Helldivers 2 update? I have not. Hello. A Nightmare About a Scooby-Doo episode. My... What's it called? Earliest nightmare memory, like the earliest nightmare I can recall. Any hiccups? Is like being chased by a T-Rex on a high-speed chase while I'm in the back of an open van. It was scary. I think I was in 1st grade and I woke up in a cold sweat. Bringing a Halo 3 ODST collab. Whoa. Ye old Halo. Ye old Halo. Line it on the super small canvas. The Jurassic Park Nightmare. Yeah, I've never even watched it. To this day, I've never seen it. I wanted to read it though. I was thinking about reading it. I couldn't be asked to watch it. I was like, you know what? Let me just read it. It's way easier, and I can like put pictures in my mind if I want. A zombie, Minor 49, Captain Color, and Horror Monster. Spooky. Speaking of reading things instead of watching them, what's about earliest memories? We're doing earliest memories, except I'm changing the topic. Because I thought of something else, as always. Camera. Speaking of reading instead of watching. The classic? I'll watch it eventually, but I do like reading. A big hashtag reader. Where my real readers at? I love reading. Got pictures in my mind. Anyway, I read Brokeback Mountain because it was a short 30-page like short story. Really interesting because it was in like a magazine or like a collection of like magical realism. I was like, whoa, I love magical realism. Except Brokeback Mountain is like, I think it's the only story in that collection that isn't magical realism. And I was like, well, that's pretty interesting. Little fun fact or whatever. As into the book, I don't know. Audiobooks, I feel like I always like space out. Always be spacing out. The original Cowboy Yowie, dude, it was so sad. I was like sobbing. It was so fucking sad. It was so fucking sad. It was so real. I was like, oh my god. Real, dude. Life is cruel, especially in the old times. People don't know how good they have it these days. But even then, people struggle because life isn't all peachy. It was so sad. I was so fucking crying. It was really fucking sad. I don't know if I have the appeal of watching it. But the book really the passage, the short story really got me. So sad. Tell me the tale. Okay, spoilers for Brokeback Mountain, the book. the 30-page short story. There's two young men. In what year was it? It was like, let me see the year, because I think the time period is important. So you can contextualize when it starts and then when it ends. Like the time. Hot Topic, is sure you will never have your size? No. Maybe? I feel like I don't buy shirts at Hot Topic. I have gone recently though, and they're like stocked up the wazoo. I feel like if I did want a shirt, they probably would have had the size somewhere. Okay, it happens in the American West from 1963 to 83. Which is like, holy moly. Old. As some weird dream has it taller, but then the real earliest Power Rangers in space meeting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A movie called Warriors of Virtue. I like how the earliest memories are dreams. I feel like that's a real, like there's something to it, right? To how like the dreams are impactful. My earliest memory as a baby that's not in a dream is climbing up the sink cabinet and my parents being like, she's gonna bust her head open. But I was reaching for like a little like a Winnie the Pooh soap dispenser. I was probably like 3 or something, 3 or 4. Enough to be crawling around. Anyway, Brokeback Mountain, real shit. It takes place from like the 60s to the 80s, right? And there's these two young men, not like they didn't even graduate high school, and they had to start working, right? And they come from different lives. They don't know each other until they meet on this ranching job on a mountain called Brokeback Mountain, right? And their job is to watch the sheep in this field for like a long ass time. Like I don't remember the period of time, but it was for a long enough time that they had to camp, right? And, you know, they're doing their job and they're getting to know each other and they're really chopping it up, getting along. And then, you know, when you're out there in the wilderness, nobody's seeing you. It's lonely, you know? They had a moment of passion, if you will. And then from that moment on, it continued. They kept having moments of passions. Passions? Plural? A passion? Thinking that no one saw them. But gasp, when the job was over, later in the story, they reveal, I think it's late in the story, like maybe halfway through, they reveal that the guy who contracted them saw them one day through the binoculars and was like, he didn't say nothing, but they never went back to that mountain. Because the one guy who knew was like, bro, you know? They're working the mountain, nothing else? No, there's more to it. In fact, I feel like most of the story happens after the mountain, right? The mountain is like a symbol of good times. Anyway, so they finish the job and I think one of the dudes is like engaged. And so he was like, I'm gonna go live my life with the wife or become wife or whatever. And the other guy, I guess, was also engaged or something. And like, okay, let's go separate ways. And so they all go their separate ways, and they live their lives, and they have kids. And they're with their beautiful wives or whatever the fuck. Except, what's his name? The actors. Ennis. Remember, I read this. The pronunciation's wrong. Boss, may I say something? I always thought it was called Brokeback Mountain. It was called that because they had the Cowboy Yowie moment. It's not called, but I don't know if the author intentionally called it Brokeback Mountain because it's like has a little bit of undertones to it. But that's what the name of the mountain was in this case. A catalyst for their feelings. Yes, exactly. So then, Ennis, or whatever his name is pronounced, because I've never seen the film, Ennis or whatever, he lives a life with his wife, but he's like high-key not enjoying it, and he's like high-key he misses the life of the ranch, and he's not making good money at all. And the wife's like, you should like, you know, get a good fucking job and like think about it. And he's like, whatever, right? You know, it's not looking good, right? And then you do break a horse for riding. I assume that's what it was. Maybe. I didn't read any things about how the author went about the process. It's always interesting to see what authors go through when they're writing. I know there is some writing and interviews with the author about the story, but I don't know if they asked the question. I'm sure the question was asked though. Anyway, marriage was not looking good. And then one day he gets a letter from his looks of it, his homie Jack, you know, good homie, and was like, I'm gonna be in the area for business, I guess. Do you want to meet up and like have a beer or whatever? And he was like, fuck yeah, right? And so they meet at the doorstep of Anissa's house, and like they couldn't fucking handle it. They started making out there, right there and there. They missed each other so fucking much. And the wife saw this, and she kept her tongue shut for a while. She couldn't believe her fucking eyes. And then from that moment, they keep basically like hooking up and like meeting in secret under the guise of fishing trips and stuff like that. And then the wife's like, you're not going on no goddamn fishing trips, because I put a beautiful love letter on your fishing line. And so we say, catch a big one. And he never comes home with any fish. He never comes home with any fish. The poor wife. So she fucking leaves. She leaves him, and now he's all like sad. Not really sad, but he's like in a bad position. He's still meeting up with his boy, right? He's meeting up with his boy, and then Jack is like, "Hey, you know, Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal. It is. I'll admit though, I actually don't really know what they look like. I've only seen Danny Darko, and that was Jake Gyllenhaal, right? When he was younger, though. I don't know if his face still looks like that when he gets older. He goes fishing, smells like fish, but never has any. Sorry. I feel like it'll be more accurate. Okay, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. See ya, bye-bye. Have fun. Little Pokemon. Anyway, so he's still making whatever with his homie Jack or whatever. Heath Ledger's acting for. What the fuck else was Heath Ledger in? Let me click on his little pages right here. I feel like I would know. You're Amongst Friends? I guess I am. He was in The Dark Knight. I don't think I've seen that. Maybe a little bit. Speak My Goat. I was gonna say, it would smell like fish if they were both women and it was a Yuri. I digress. It wasn't even that bad. I just felt gross saying it. He was the Joker. I've never seen it. I've never seen The Dark Knight. I have heard that was like the one that everyone liked. I didn't know I know the actor. Anyway, he keeps meeting up with the homie, and the homie's like, hey, you and me, we should like not run away together, but like we should like start our lives together on a farm, you know? And basically like, and he's like, no, like, you know, he just doesn't, he's not fucking with the idea. And he's like, and Jack gets real fucking mad because he's like, bro, like, are you fucking serious? Like, we could like run away, like, we leave the wife and everything, like, we can be together forever, you know? And he fucking like doesn't do it. And then time goes on, and then they find out, and he finds out that Jack died, tragically. Like, I guess when it was like he was changing a tire, so they say, right? Allegedly. His hand looks fucked up, so I'm not even paying attention to it. But he died changing a tire, like it fucking exploded on him or something. And then he went to his wife to Jack's wife to like, you know, ask about it. That he's never the main squeeze. He could have been the main squeeze is my fucking point. If you're ready for a gay cowboy, that was his gay cowboy, bro. It was so real. And then, so yeah, he goes to the wife and he's like, you know, I heard that he died, you know, and she's like, you know, he would always talk about you, you know, and like, and then he apparently like wanted to be, like have his ashes buried or thrown, I guess buried or whatever, in Brokeback Mountain, but his folks, his parents didn't want that, and then I think Anise was like he like went to his Jack's parents' place, and he was talking to them, and like it was like a really tense moment, sort of, where it was like this is where it gets sad. I was like sobbing the whole fucking time, and then I went like I was like I gasped when they like had like when he like was talking about, like, this is where trigger warning, I guess, trigger warning for child abuse, like sexual child abuse, more or less. But he like Jack, when he was a kid, like he like fucked up something, and his dad basically like, you know, I won't even say it, but something bad happened, like something like very traumatic happened, right? Like, and then it was like a moment that like Anise was like recalling that Jack told him, like as he was like looking at his father, and he recalled also that his like there was another guy who was gay that they suspected of being gay, and then they killed. And then it was like, and it was me saying, and then it was like, anyway, it was a really sad, intense moment, and he basically put two and two together because Jack's dad was like, you know, he wouldn't shut up about you, and he said that he would always bring up that he would one day bring you to the farm, and you guys would fix up this place, and you know, whatever, like run it or whatever, basically like being like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a life together. And then he put two and two together, like, oh yeah, they fucking killed him, like they probably suspected that he was gay and they fucking killed him, right? And so it was really fucking sad. And then he goes to his room, reading the unresolved cowboy yaoi sounds pretty iconic. I was really fucking sobbing. I feel like it had been a hot minute since I was crying so fucking hard. And he goes to his room, and then and it's like preserved. The mom was like, "Oh, I left his bedroom just like he left it." And it was like the wife was like quiet because she was like the type to not really like interfere with like what the husband was saying. "No, I left it. You know, you should go up to his room." And he goes to the room, and he has a shirt. His shirt was there. His shirt that went missing, I think, like from like when they were up there in Brokeback Mountain. It went missing, and it was there. He had his shirt the whole time. And I think there was something in it. I don't remember what was in it. I don't remember. But he had his shirt, and so he took the shirt, and he was like, he smelled it, and he was like looking for like remnants of like the time they were on the mountain. And then he goes later to like a shop to buy like a postcard of Brokeback Mountain, and it was just like so fucking sad. I was sobbing so fucking hard. It was like, no, this is so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Anyway, and it basically just ends like that. It ends with like life goes on, and you have your regrets. And that's how it ends. Life's tragic. That's that. I think also like the setting does really good for it, because like the whole concept of like what's it called? It's just it was a sad story. It is sad. The setting was really, I think, good with the whole concept of like they're probably wearing gloves. Gloves have these weird seams to them. the concept of like how cowboys, like their jobs were kind of like dying out at the time. Like the whole like farm, like living on the land type shit, like that was dying out. I mean, it ended in the ending. Excuse me. Then in the movie was like in the 80s. Like how like cowboy shit was not really a thing in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like how it was in the 60s. It was just like sad, like the dying way of life, and then like literally dying, and then just having to move on, like as the world changes. So sad. I was crying really fucking hard. Being pretty rough near the end. I don't know if I want to watch it. I love being in control of my emotions, which is why I like to read over watching movies. Because when you watch a movie, you're at their pace, but when I read, I'm at my pace. Me, 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 me. It's all about me. I also watched Weapons. Speaking of movies I actually have watched, I watched Weapons recently. It was pretty good, I guess. It was fun watching in the movie theater because there were like moments where it was like so shocking. People actually reacted. I think it's fun. I like when people react in movie theaters because that means the movie is doing a good job. You know, it's working out. Your version makes the other dude like a clean how he was a bit stalkerish. I omitted a lot of details, and I think I'm not really describing their intimacy well. But they were very much on the same boat, or like on the same level of love for each other. But one of them was not brave enough to risk it. To take the risk of living together. We could have a good life together. You know? You said it was okay? Weapons? It was okay. Do not ever ask me if a movie was fantastic, because I will say I had a good time at the movies. And the movie was good. It was okay. And that was that. Like that would be my review for every movie unless it was like really bad. Because I have a good time at the movies. And I'm happy. I spent time with my friends and we had a good chat after. I cried at the Minecraft movie. I did. Watching movies like it's a movie. That's kind of what it is. Mixed to say the least, yeah. It was a good movie, I guess. I'm like hedging my bets against literally no one. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I just felt like I don't know. It was good. Fine. It was good. There were some epic highs and epic lows. I don't know. There was one because it had like some gore in it, but the gore I didn't mind. But there was one like storyline that had I guess I don't think it's spoilers because it's just like an object in the movie. But there's like a one storyline that had needles in it, and that was like the scariest part. Like the needles. Lovely review. I don't know how to review a movie without like fucking spoiling it off, so I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna review it proper because I don't spoil it all. Next Resident Evil movie. I heard about that. And then apparently it's like not gonna be like an existing like character or like storyline from Resident Evil. It's just gonna be like in the world or something like that. But I think it's interesting. I feel like you could do a lot with that. I hate needles. Me too. I can take like vaccines, like shots, and like blood drawing pretty well. I have to do like a little bit of a deep breath. I don't think about it too hard, but I don't mind it too much. But in the movie, they have like needles and like used in a way that you're not supposed to use them, right? As a weapon, if you will. Oh, gasp. And that was the scariest part. Like that was when I like physically cringed. Like I like recoiled back because it was so scary. That was the real horror aspect of it. It was a good movie though. Smartest way to Resident Evil, the game characters are so hard to cast well. I'm sure if you ask like diehard fans, they would find good actors. I feel like there probably is a lot of like actors that haven't gotten like limelight that there's like potential with, but it really isn't like something a lot of people are willing to risk. Always gets me. I've not seen Pet Sematary. I've not seen it. I feel like Pet Sematary is old enough that you probably just say what the scene is. Maybe I could Google it too. If it's like that iconic, I'm sure there's like movie clips on YouTube. You know, they're in an epic movie announcer voice. Weapons was good. I'm definitely gonna see. I think my friends wanted to watch. Oh, we flipping. We flipping. My friends wanted to watch the Good Boy movie. I've not seen the trailer. I think it came out, but 6 heads, 4 tails. Haha. His ankle cut with a scalpel gruesome. That sounds nasty. Curling yourself. Get in line. The person in front of you is just you, but like from like another time. There's like a TikTok. Like this guy has like a TikTok. Not series, but he like makes the same video over and over again, or the same concept video over and over again, and it's basically like POV. Not POV. I guess POV. POV. It's like you pass by me on a walk, and one of like the little like quips that he does is like, "I was you yesterday." Someone was like, "Dude, that would send me into psychosis if someone said that shit to me." I was you yesterday. I feel like if someone said that to me walking, I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, "Yeah, the fuck you weren't." I have all my memories. All my memories. The Stephen King based movie is very funny even when they're cheesy. I feel like I've not really heard terrible things about the movie adaptations of them. I feel like the Stephen King's plots are like pretty standard enough. Describes TikToks in depth more than the book she read. Bro, 6 seconds? What was it wasn't even 6 seconds. It was a 2-second description of a 6-second video versus a 30-page short story with words that touch your heart that I can't repeat because I don't have it bar for bar. I mean, unfair comparison. I'm talking way too much. Yeah, and I'm right. I'm left. I'm up and I'm down. Am I fucking wrong? You're not wrong, but there's a lot of fucking baggage when you said it. There's context that you're throwing down. My ability to read between the lines is immense. If we set the counter, dude, that counter would always be at fucking 0 if we actually had something like that. It would never get past 0 ever. Jason's kind of been mentioned TikTok. 0. Reset the fucking counter. Surprisingly, almost on the line art. Oh, bow, 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 bow. For an hour. Probably get off soon. Finish the line art here. Do you see this TikTok? The answer is always no. I'm surprised it's always no. None of you fucking pick up the phone. None of you are on that fucking phone. Like you're not the same person who went on almost 30-minute lecture about flipping foods with faces on them dancing. Because I was exposing a side of the internet that you guys don't even fucking know exists, and yet it's dictating so much of what is on the net. I don't even know. I was ahead of that fucking curve of the Omega food series, that like the Omega chicken nugget and shit like that. I was ahead of the fucking curve. Cause then it went like the fucking like what's it called? Con Joe shit. I'm like, okay, even now I'm hearing it, like I'm like saying fucking nonsense. That you guys, the likelihood of you guys remembering that conversation is like damn near 0. Like what, y'all probably do not remember that fucking rant I had. An AI dog storyline? Yeah. Fucking Sasa and Momo? Pet universe? I've not seen them in a long time, by the way. I feel like it's probably the end of Sasa Momo pet universe. I think it's GG's for them. Keeps me in touch with what the kids are up to nowadays. You know what else? I don't even want to say it. It's not even bad. It's just embarrassing. Bro, I'm like the fountain of fucking youth. Go on. Hold on, let me clear my throat and have a drink because I've been talking way too much. Okay. When I went to the boba shop and we were in line, I was talking with my friend and my sister, who you guys know. And my friend says something like I think the question was like, how much do the drinks cost? And he says like, oh, like 6 or 7. And I said 6, 7. And then my sister was like, what? And I said 6, 7. And she was like, you know, I don't fucking understand that. And I was like, it's like 1738. And she was like, what the fuck? She was like, I don't know anything about that. And she was like, I haven't even heard the song it's based off. And I was like, I heard it like a couple times, but I couldn't tell you much about it. But it's like 1738. And she's like, bruh. Anyway, yeah. Must be running on fumes. I don't think the Fountain of Youth would ever be anything like super 100% positive. It has to have a catch. And I think the catch is, it's gas. Now you explaining the joke because she didn't get it. And then the explanation is so simple and she has the base knowledge for it, which is 1738. So I was like, oh, it's just a number-based thing off of a song just like fucking 10 years ago. Do you remember 10 years ago? Wake up. Do you remember? 2015? Do you remember? You want to go back to 2015? What were you doing in 2015? Do you remember? I do. Because I'm the Fountain of Youth. Remember. This world will go on and I will bear witness to it. How's that? That was embarrassing. Because other people... Where's the nerd comment emoji? There's the... I guess it's an animated emote though. There's the meow meow one. I need to add the other emojis to the... What's it called? The side services. I don't know what they're called. BTTTV. ETs. We try these like hella pointy. Like I hella do not fix these proper. Simplify. There was like, I had like a meeting with like when you look at when they look at you with a level of confusion that feels embarrassing, rough stuff. It does, but I got over it really quickly. But it's embarrassing retelling it. I'll live, I'll move on, and I'll be cooler every single day. But retelling it brings me back to that single moment. That brief moment. How do I fix this proper? Got it being super intense. You feel the cringe listening to it? I think if it was just my sister and my friend, I don't think I would have cared as much. But what made it embarrassing was that it was in a room. Like it was like the small enclosure full of young women, maybe from like their mid-20s. Actually, they're probably all in their 20s because it was like in the morning where I think if you were like a teenager, you were probably in school. So it was this room of like 20-year-old something women and like 2 fathers that some of them brought along with them. And I say this youthful quip of 6, 7, right? And then I explain it. And I was like, they're listening. They can hear me. The husband of gamer girls didn't get your timely reference. Dude, it's wrong demographic. I was like, what are the odds of them like actually? I'm sure they do, right? Because technically, I'm the demographic for that game, but I don't play it, so I'm instantly put in a separate box, right? But I was like, do they? They heard. They heard me. 6'7". Hello. Hi hi. It was a little embarrassing because I was like, bro, these young ladies hearing this, they're like a little bit out of like the age group for the meme. The guys do not fuck with the TikTok memes like Comment does. They don't. Really don't. I'm in a different world. A different universe, if you will. Sigh. Sigh. You're the outsider looking in, that puts you to the right. They don't know the world I live in. He's a freak for real, for real. I think that's how life should be. He should be a little weird. Strange girls nearby. Points at me. Look, that's me. And that's strange girl. And I'm nearby. You're cool and your cat's cool. Thank you. That is very cool. I'm not even gonna fucking like try to. Oh, I could try. Nothing wrong with trying. How quickly I gave in. How quickly I gave in right there. A little the understatement of the year. We'll see. We'll see. Get off. Let me see if I can do the face and then I'll get off. Offline. See if I can finish this later, maybe. Or in between shit. A different universe? Yes. Yes. Spell what is it? Spell eyes or what the fuck? Spell I with an S. E-E-S. The one day you can ask for it. What? The bunny? You're gonna say something about the bunny, huh? Or what? No reverse bunny, girl. I can't draw that on twitch.org. Will string me up by my memes. Yes. Yes. I don't know how this tailcoat works. No bunny memes. There's oh wait, I didn't even finish drawing them, but they're there. They exist. I like miss Cat Day, I think, or like some version of Cat Day. The Cat Day I know is like in February, but apparently there's one in August too. And I missed it. That doesn't look right. I like think like a box, literally a box. You practice drawing meow meow before you put it on the canvas. Aww. Can't wait to see it. I always have to when I draw meow meow. I always have to like really every night. I think it's 222. I think it's 222. 2222. I always have to redraw Meow Meow's eyes because sometimes they're like a little slanted and they can get away with not being a little slanted, but it depends. Like a beach postcard. Oh, it's cute. Nice theme. This makes sense. I don't know nothing about no tailcoats. These things. How wow. A Meow Meow plushie for the next Annie. I don't know how I would go about making a plushie. But I definitely want to do a plushie for sure. That's definitely on the list. Do not worry. I just have to figure out how to get that done. Bubbly eggs, that's been my motto doing the eyes. I guess, yeah, that is a pretty good way to put it. They're like very slanted. Sure. Wow. You're so marketable. You really are. Who's my marketable plushie? I am. Answers my own fucking question. That's right. I answer the question. Trying to fit him in a shirt that looks good has been your main thing. Put him in like a little Hawaiian shirt. It has meows on it. That would be too redundant. It has a something on it. You can dress them up. Yeah, they're like perfect. Like they're perfectly naked, so you can put like clothes on it. Nice simple body shapes. You could put clothes on it. Look at this. Headband shape. Too big. Flowers or palm leaves. Classics. Pineapples and a big old sun hat. I like the sun hat. Also the song, yeah. It comes up. I feel like it comes up pretty often in these BGM videos. Green shirt. I think red will be too much the mainly blue background. Probably. Maybe if you make it like a soft red, maybe borderline pink. A rosy tint. I don't know. I have to see the exact shades and values. I'm cold. Cold. Oh, I didn't even have that part on there. Look, I'm gay. I should add that one. I want somebody to give me a new Mystery Dungeon game. Literally, please. Please do Mystery Dungeon, please. Okay, this is like all sorts of disproportionate. But I drew it small, so I can fix that later. You're actually cold? Bro, it's like not, it's so not cold. Where I am at, so I am jelly. Oh, this size up probably not well. Kame, what? Trade? I wish. Chilly as fuck. I only have like a little fan in front of me, which is doing okay, but on Roblox drama, it's coinciding with the weird time where I'm seeing like a million Roblox ads, so I think they know they fucked up and they're trying to get people to go back onto the game. I feel like they definitely have a problem and they need to address it, but they'd rather not. So I don't know. Like, what even is the solution unless they get their shit back together? I guess people can just stop playing and like show public outcry. But it's clear like they don't give a fart. They don't give a damn. But what? I don't know. They didn't. They were like, oh, well, let's make the game for adults. Or so adults can like meet up. But it's like, you can't change your existing fan base, which is like literal children. I don't know. You guys are fucking up. To the ground. I guess now that they're like, there's a lot of like governing bodies that are like, we have to like do something legally about it. So there is some movement in that regard, which is good because the shit that you can see on Roblox or like encounter is like weird, and there's so many fucked up people. The push for ID verification never serves. It really is, but I kind of feel like that's a. Well, I wonder how much of it it's a coincidence, because every sort of governing body right now is pushing for the ID for people to ID themselves online, which I don't agree with. I think it's stupid, and they just want control over another aspect because the internet has been like largely like lacking control. And it definitely is a coincidence, I think, that Roblox they kind of got into this trouble at the time where technically their solution could be, oh, just verify your ID, but it's like that doesn't mean we want that for everything, right? Yeah, definitely is not the solution, because you just make it up. There's like so many other things you could do. I don't know. It's definitely whack. Definitely what's whack is how many the age verification. Like, that's so fucked up. How the child supposed to do that when it's supposed to be a kid's game? Yeah, literally, that's what it is. They legit cannot just be like, okay, we're changing the entire like model for the program or like for the software or whatever the fuck. Like, no, no. You can just be like, okay, it's adults only now. It's like the equivalent of like when someone has this fucking another online like perspective. But when someone is like a teenager online and have like their account, like a Twitter or Instagram or whatever or TikTok, and they're a minor, and then the second they turn 18, they're like, no minors, do not interact, no minors. And it's like, bro, if your account was non 18 plus before, you can't just wake up the next day when you turn 18 and be like, no minors, and just like start posting like NSFW or like 18 plus stuff. It's like you can't just get rid of your existing following in a single day. You know what I mean? Like you have to go through a process or make a new account. Like, you know, like there's time. And you can take the time, and you should take the time. Or make a new account. It's all about control. China did it first and then went to this person. Yeah, definitely about control. Because the internet has been so uncontrolled. Incontrolled is not about uncontrolled. Maybe I want this a little bit more sly. Sort of smile. But yeah, people just have to make their voices heard because holy smokes, bro. All these crazies in the office are gonna be like, yeah, ban all stuff like that. Limits check. I haven't read it recently, but I've been wanting to because I've been thinking about Heathcliff. Looks up Heathcliff. I've been thinking about him and Catherine. I'm past that story, but I've been thinking about them. So I wanted to keep reading. My baby boy, my British baby boy. It was like deciding 18 as adult age was entirely arbitrary and outdated, especially with modern understanding of brain growth. Yep. The whole like what was it like? It should be like 20, 21 instead of 18. Like stuff like having like an OnlyFans or like what else? Like age verification type stuff. Like 21 seems more. You're a little bit more grown than you are when you're 18, at least. You want to talk about it with you? Okay, I'll see about picking it up again tonight. My bedtime read, my bedtime listen, and look at the pretty pictures. Should she have a flesh fang? Maybe not. Until 25, then continuing until constantly. Yeah, we're always growing. But I feel like you're definitely way more solid at 25 than you are 18. 18 is still such a volatile age. Even 20, even 20, you're still such a kid at 20. Especially when if you go to college, even not even just big boy college. If you go to like a community college, maybe especially if you go to community college, because there's more age groups in community college. There's like old people, people with kids, people in the military, people on their second degree, like all sorts of age groups and stuff like that. Like you really have a perspective of like, damn, I'm just a little guy, and you are. And you have so much life left to live. You're not fully there, but you will be. And one of the more lighthearted stories, Kanto 8, really. I'll have to get. Anyway, I've been summoned elsewhere, so let me finish this up real quick. I have to fix the proportions because, as I said, they were weird and fucky wucky. The arm's too long. Yeah, the body's like too long here. Fix that. So we'll just like zoom in here, and that's that. S. You change through your whole life, and at least hope most people do. It's a real natural progression. Yeah, and I think it's nice to change. I say that as someone who is actually a little bit, like, adverse to change. But I think it's wonderful to change. Despite the fear. If anything, the fear makes it cooler. Miles. I was 18 when I started college due to having a later birthday. That's so young. But if you go to like a community college, you could find like I remember in one of like my gen ed classes, I had an 11-year-old in my class. It was actually kind of strange. He was like 11, and we were like, "Whoa, like what's this kid doing here?" And he was chaperoned by his mom, and then I think a couple times by his teacher. Um, and I don't know if he was like a prodigy or something, but I think it was just because he had an interest in the subject of the class, and so I mean, he must have really supportive parents if they were like, "Can I go? Can I go to community college, and you know, learn?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll make the time," because it was a later class. I'm cold. Real life Chio-chan, literally real life Chio-chan. And he got along really well. He was like a very, very personable kid, which is why I think maybe he was like high key a prodigy or something. Maybe not prodigy, but he was like very well kept and socialized, like Chio-chan. Change is one of the things that you don't necessarily you're a good way into it. Yeah, I feel like maybe that's when people get scared of it because they're like, oh shit, something's happening. But you can have more control over things than you think you do. You know? Okay. Wonderful conversation we're having, and that we've had. And I went off about Brokeback Mountain. It's so sad. I thought about rereading it. I'm gonna reread it at some point. But I have to read Limbus Company. I have to read. Anyway. Every year stuff bothers me less. That's a positive change to me, for sure. I guess you also have to like be careful to not let things not bother you completely, because it's important to get bothered a little bit. You know? Be a little bit reactive. Keeps things fresh. Anyway, that'll be for tonight, everyone. Reread Heath's console? I might actually. I miss Heath. Need to see him. I need to see my British man. My British man. Alright, everyone. Good night. Sweet dreams. Evening. Good evening. And good night. The stream's over. You're trying good stream. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. Bye-bye. Bye. Meow.